And welcome back to Newsroom Live. You are looking at a live picture in Washington, D.C. tonight of the U.S. Capitol. And once again, the government is going on almost a month. The government is still shut down. Democrats and Republicans cannot get it together to reopen the government, and the consequences are becoming severe. Starting November 1st, the SNAP benefit, which is supplemental insurance for the neediest among us, are going to stop going out. The money, the checks, the SNAP benefits are going to stop November 1st. And so that's just a few days away. And there is grave concern about what that could mean for millions of families across this country and right here in our area. We spoke with some people earlier today. Here's what they have to say about what's happening.
You people doing our job every day. We're good people. We're in federal jobs because we literally got to go through a severe screening our entire lives, background checks to show that we're law-abiding citizens, that we are taxpayers like everybody else, that we are there to serve the public every single day. And we didn't do anything to deserve this.
Breaking, and you can see that is a federal worker who finds herself on a food pantry line because the money has run out. They have not been paid, and they don't know how they're going to put food on their tables without the income that they had become used to. It's really heartbreaking to watch. It's happening all over the country. We've seen it with the air traffic controllers. In fact, Transportation Secretary Duffy had another news conference today with the Air Traffic Controllers Union, urging lawmakers to get together and cut a deal and reopen the government and fund the government. So joining me now is Sally Schwab. She's the assistant principal of University Prep Charter High School in the South Bronx. Sally, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, talk to me about what your school is doing to try to help the SNAP benefit recipients make it through this time.
Absolutely. So our school is located in the South Bronx, which, if you're not familiar, it's one of the poorest congressional districts in the country. And 85% of our students are recipients of SNAP benefits. So beginning next week, our students and their families are going to be going with no food. And it's something that in our school community, we are going to take very seriously. So we're launching a multi-pronged event. We're doing a fundraiser. We have a GoFundMe up and running to provide grocery store gift cards. We're going to be doing our own shopping. We want to create our own food pantry at our school. So we're going to be taking donations for non-perishable items. And we're just going to be bagging those up, and families can come and collect groceries every week. And as we know, this is not something that's going to be over in a week. This could last for a month, 2 months. And so we want to have enough money and enough food that we can provide the families week after week with those groceries. Our families and students shouldn't have to choose between a healthy meal and going to the doctor. And it is essential that we are providing them with the food that they need so they can show up to school fed and feeling good and not anxious and worried about where their next meal is coming from.
So how many students would be impacted? I know you said it's the majority of your population. Yeah. How many people are we talking about? And are you able to provide not just food for your student population, but for their mother, father, brother, sister, or maybe doesn't even go to your school?
Yes. So we have in our high school, there are going to be about 360 families that will be impacted by this. And the goal is not just to help the students, but it is to help their entire family. So it is their parents that can come to school to collect those grocery bags each week. If they're not comfortable coming to the school because they're working or whatever the case may be, the students will then be able to bring those groceries home in addition to grocery gift cards as well.
And what is the GoFundMe page, just in case anybody's watching and they want to write it down, and they can find it on our website?
Please. Absolutely. We'd love as many donations as possible. You can just go to GoFundMe and you can just search our school name, which is University Prep Charter High School, and it will be the first thing that comes up. Otherwise, it is called Ensure Meals for University Prep Families. And again, we're taking all donations, or if anyone just wants to drop off non-perishables, we're located at 600 St. Anne's Avenue in the South Bronx. They can come right to the school, and we'll be collecting donations as well. the more donations we have, the more families we'll be able to feed. For those that aren't familiar, one food bank meal is the equivalent to 9 meals from SNAP. And the food banks are just not going to be able to keep up with the need. So we're definitely looking for all the help we can get.
And if someone is listening and they want to come to your school and drop off a donation, be a little more specific, because I know you don't want, something that's going to go bad. And what's the most important thing when you're trying to feed long-term these families?
Yes. So they can come with non-perishables, and some things that are really going to go a long way are big bags of rice, pasta, things that like canned goods, anything canned, beans, corn. So families can make meals with the rice, the beans, the pasta, jars of sauce. So yeah, non-perishables for sure.
Are you prepared for this to go long term? I mean, it's a valiant effort you're making, and I'm sure you'll have a lot of enthusiasm off the top, but how long can you go like this? How long can your families go without these SNAP benefits?
I don't know, have the answer to that. I mean, they can't probably go more than 1 week without their SNAP benefits. And so we're hopeful that we'll just have an outpouring of donations that we can go as long as we need to, because no child and their family should ever go hungry.
Yeah, it's great work that you're doing, and I'm sure you're not alone. There must be organizations all over trying to facilitate this. We're going to talk more about this and what lawmakers in Democratic states are doing and why they're suing the federal government to try to get some of this funding restored. Keep it right here. Don't go anywhere, Sally. We'll be back in 2 minutes. And welcome back to Newsroom Live. You're looking at a live picture of New York City tonight. I'm Sharon Crowley. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a lot to get to. We are getting ready for the 10 o'clock newscast, which you can watch on Channel 9 at 10 o'clock tonight, because, of course, the World Series is going on Channel 5. But as soon as that's over, you can watch our newscast right after that as well. And one of the big stories we're working on is that SNAP benefits, which millions rely on, are about to expire because the government has not been funded. Democrats and Republicans still at a stalemate over this issue, and that means food banks across this country are feeling it. Listen to this.
Most are TSA workers, so they're people who are keeping us safe on airplanes, and so it's really a good feeling for our team to be able to help them at this time where they're, having trouble meeting their families' needs.
And you can hear just there, that's just one of the many food banks in the area actually feeding federal workers, people who have had a full-time job and benefits and now find themselves on a food kitchen line or a food bank line, just trying to survive and feed their families. Before we let you go, I'm going to bring back in Sally Schwab. She's the assistant principal from the University Prep Charter High School in the South Bronx. Sally, tell our viewers one more time what your effort is, what they can do to help some of your students and their families get through this difficult time.
Thank you. Great. If you are looking for a way to help to take action, you can go to GoFundMe. You can just Google that and just Google our name in there, University Prep Charter High School, and it's called Ensure Meals for University Prep Families. We're taking monetary donations, or if you have non-perishable goods, you can drop them right off at our school at 600 St. Anne's Avenue, where we're going to be creating our own food pantry to give out bags of groceries to our families.
And just let people know, I know you mentioned it before, but a very large portion of your student population relies on SNAP benefits, right?
Yes, we have about 360 of our high school families. That's not to mention our middle school as well, that has an equal amount. So it's 85% of our families that are going to be going without their SNAP benefits starting next week.
All right, Sally Schwab, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We so appreciate it. And let us know, keep us updated on how the donations are going, and we'll check back with you next week.
Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Sally.